Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success
To the youth.
Yeah, how you
giving
doing?
this false hope to these youth that anybody can go to the league, and I just want youth to understand that that is not okay.
Well, if you really want to examine out of the four people that are now guests on the show, who could actually run a full basketball game today, time now? Who can
you can run all you want to. That doesn't mean you can defend any of these 6'8" guards. Plus, you played in the post.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So what you didn't realize is the things of the past were preparing me for my future. Now, see, I was playing in the post as a young man, as a young high school player. But once I was able to move on, if I were still playing today, I'd still be pushing those guards around. I like it myself.
You sound like Stephen A. Smith. You sound like Stephen A.
No,
he sounds
I'll tell you what.
At least Stephen A. is like 6'3", 6'4".
He put up that poster with how much you average, just like they do Stephen A.
I'm like a Dennis Rodman, Charles Barkley, Draymond Green-esque type player. I'm not going to go out there and try to put up 30, 40 points. That's just not my game. I mean, you watch the Lakers, right? If I were playing for the Lakers today, you put me in the corner, wide open three.
You wouldn't be in the game.
I would be in the game. I'll be in right now. So they need somebody to guard to play defense. That's what
you said. Dennis Rodman is crazy. More like Dennis the Menace. Dennis Rodman is
Dennis
insane.
Rodman. It's kind of funny because Minnesota's average height is like what, 6'6"?
That's fine.
Who you shooting over?
I don't need to shoot over. I mean, you got LeBron and Luka for the first half. They put up, I think, 52 of their points, and the rest of the Lakers had like 12 points.
That's whoever you're guarding is gonna put 50 on you.
No. Check this out.
You'd have to guard like Jaden McDaniels. He's like 6'9" with a
that's fine. He was
wingspan.
He scored 30.
Ant was the only one. Ant was scoring, and your boy was out there bodying folks.
Just for clarity, you would guard either Anthony Edwards or Mike Conley Jr.
No, I wasn't talking about. I would guard Conley. That's fine. He wasn't the one. Like when you just look at the scores just now, the first half.
I have a song for this.
Another name.
I have a song for this occasion. In the great words of Mariah Carey, "You're delusional, you're out of your mind."
I'm just saying, y'all don't realize, like, if y'all actually watching the game just a minute ago,
it's on the TV right now.
That's what I'm saying. So tell me who on the Timberwolves right now, who are the two players that are leading in scoring?
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It's Julius Randle.
That's right.
Anthony Edwards.
Thank you.
Would not guard either one of them.
And I'm not going to guard either one of them. And you know what? I wouldn't be LeBron or Luka.
You can guard Chris Finch.
Wait a minute. Those are their two smallest players. So who are you guarding?
I don't
Chris
need
Finch,
to. Why would I
coach.
Wait, who's their smallest player? Let me hear that.
The two smallest players are Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle. Everybody else is 6'9" and above.
I hope you didn't just call Julius Randle. You know, we need to move on. I can't believe you just called Julius Randle small.
Hold on, I got a true story.
Player.
I have a true story. I played against Julius Randle one time. When I played in the AAU circuit. He played for the Texas Titans. I can't remember their name, and I had to guard him for one play. That dude was so strong. I said, "Hey man, switch. I ain't gonna guard this man."
I don't know why you were trying to guard him. He's 6'9".
It was like a fast break or something, and I had to guard him. I picked up a foul immediately.
And he probably still scored.
No, he didn't.
Oh.
I'm just saying I don't need to guard either one. I think y'all missed what I said. You see, I'm just the extra player. I'm out there I'm diving for the ball. No. Check it out. There's the guy who's hustling, right? I'm the Hachimura of the Lakers. I'm out there just hustling.
Hachimura is 6'9", and he shoots threes, and he can defend.
Oh, he's missed about 16 tonight.
He's wearing a mask.
Yeah, I
That's
hate
fine.
that.
I wear masks too.
Looks
I'm
like
like
Batman.
I'm basically like the Rip Hamilton. I'll just run around and score where you need me to.
That would be Steph Curry.
You're more like Alexander Hamilton.
Okay, I'll take that too. But you know what? At the end of
Not
the day,
the real
I'd
one.
have been
The
hooping.
$10 founding father without a father. Oh, y'all ain't seen
Oh
Hamilton, my
my
bad.
God. Dan, we're not
All
doing
right. So, audience, as you can see, there's some brotherly love going on in this session. And man, I'm so excited to have the Ogunyemi brothers on with us. Just some amazing guys doing great things. Let me go back. Some amazing guys from an amazing family doing some amazing things. And so, man, just truly grateful to have them on. What we want to do is just kind of highlight them, show them some love, hang out and have a good time. And so, if you hadn't seen already, it's going to be a good time. And I'm looking forward to it. So what I want to do is just kind of let each of the brothers, and we'll go, oldest to youngest. Sorry, Dan. That's what we did last time. Maybe we'll switch it up on the next time we do it. But we'll go oldest to youngest, and I'd like for each of y'all to just introduce, yourself to our audience. Let them know who you are and what it is you do, so they have an idea. So Doc, you'll be up first.
Oh man. All right. I'm Dr. Clement Ogunyemi. I'm the CFO consultant or consulting CFO with 4Q Pro Financial Management and Consulting. I guess what they call it nowadays is an owner operator, if we want to be technical. So I do CFO work for a lot of nonprofits and businesses. We also have bookkeeping services and tax planning and tax filing for individuals and businesses as well. Additionally, I'm a speaker. I'm also a published author. I'm a big bro to these knuckleheads that's on here, among others, that's probably going to watch this and listen. And I found out the other day that I'm also considered an OG now. I don't know when and how that happened, but this gentleman introduces, or he speaks to me every time he sees me. He says, "What's up, OG?" And I was like, "Geez, when did that occur?" But I'll take it because I
Come
just
on.
look at it as a way of showing respect and saying that I have some kind of wisdom. I've left some type of impact in his life. So that's me. I have a beautiful fiance, two boys, Ethan, Aiden, and I have a young lady on the way any day now.
Awesome.
She's just kind of hanging out and waiting to pop on out of there and introduce herself to the world. So I'm truly blessed. I think blessed is an understatement, but I'm blessed with the life that I have, and blessed to be able to impact people's lives through financial literacy and the consulting business that I have. I've been blessed to touch so many lives that way, and spreading the good news. And I don't mean the gospel this time, the good news of financial literacy and financial freedom.
Awesome, Doc. All right, Josh, let's jump to you.
I'm gonna talk slow like Clement. He had that bishop cadence on. First, giving honor to God and the
Man,
people.
it's Sunday. Usually right now, I'm kind of under my blanket, sitting in my recliner like an old man. So see, y'all got me on the call when I'm usually acting like an old bishop.
Man, you took her right into friends and family day with that one, bro. I'm telling you. I'm Joshua Ogunyemi. You guys can call me Josh O. I am a creative director and branding strategist based in Nashville, Tennessee. I've been a freelance graphic designer for over a decade now. Joined one of the top marketing agencies in the state of Tennessee about 4 years ago as its creative director, and most recently Fisk University, which is an HBCU here in Nashville, Tennessee. So I'm super proud about that. The work that I do centers around, helping brands to elevate their digital, their visual presence. So everything from creative branding and strategy, content strategy, and things like that. We help brands think through and bring their visions to life. Help them to connect with the community because it's more than just a logo. It's more than just all the surface level things that people think about when it comes to building a brand or your organization or your business. But making sure that, folks and businesses are prepared to be competitive in the marketplace. They can raise money and different things like that to help support their mission. So that's where my work lies. I'm also in the process of launching a passion project of mine, as well as a business called Excel U Network. It's a Christian-based leadership development platform. And the goal there, the vision for the network is to give voice to, so many great Christian leaders who have sound wisdom in their respective industries. And all of that is, just to give glory to God and help people to find their way and grow and excel in life. So I'm excited about that, launching that project as well and getting a whole bunch of people on board. I would say these guys, but some of them not really. They don't love the Lord like that. They be sinning.
Hey, we're not gonna tell any of those stories, okay? We're gonna keep those secrets in the family. Wait till we turn the record off for those.
Yeah. But that's a little bit about me.
Yeah. So good, Josh. So good, man. All right, Major.
All right, so I am Olaolu Ogunyemi. I am a major in the United States Marine Corps. I'm the founder of parent-child-connect.com, and I am an award-winning writer. I've contributed to leadership articles. I've written 3 children's books that you see behind me: Crow from the Shadow, Billy Dipper's Time to Shine, and Horace the Horsefly. I've had the opportunity to contribute to the major Marine Corps leadership magazines and a lot of other publications. I contribute regularly to the YouVersion Bible app, which is a good opportunity just to, again, share the goodness of the Lord and practical leadership advice through biblical-based principles. So that's really all about me. I do have a wife and 3 children, a girl who's a freshman in high school now, about to be a sophomore, and a 11-year-old and a 6-year-old girl. So it's been a blessing. 11-year-old boy and a 6-year-old girl. Excuse me. It's been a blessing. A lot of great opportunities on the horizon. I'm sure we'll get to a little bit later. And I'm just excited to be here. Thank you, Chip.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, Dan.
Chip, they say the best for last, but let me punt it back to my big bro to try to help him out real quick, because he failed to mention that he has a wife and 2 children as well. So I want to give him an opportunity to redeem himself.
Dan, I appreciate
You need
that.
to clarify which big bro you're talking about, please.
He's talking about me, and I can hold myself accountable. And I realize that, and I appreciate that. Hey, everybody, we take 2. Okay, you just go edit this in, because here comes my wife now, and this could go off the rails quickly. Hold on, I need her to walk in while I'm saying this. Man, I'm just really excited as well. In addition to all those great things that God has allowed me to do in my professional life, I am a proud husband. We've been married. She ain't walked in yet.
Hey, but I'm
such a proud husband. I'm such a proud to be a proud husband. We've been together since college, and we got married shortly after. We have 2 beautiful children, 3 beautiful children, 2 living, and we just created an incredible life for each other. She's actually retiring from the bedside of nursing, and I'm really excited and proud of the work she's done as a registered nurse over the last 15 years. So it's really awesome. Thanks, Dan.
Great
Yeah,
job,
it's
Josh.
really amazing to hear, even after you said that this isn't really about them, and now we're going to amplify everything about your wife here. So God bless you. I really appreciate everything you're saying there, Josh. I think it's amazing. Our wife and children are the ones who hold down the fort while we're out trying to do the great thing. They are the backbone.
The backbone.
They are the backbone.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
Right.
Well, let the redeemed of the Lord say so, whom we have redeemed from the hand of the spouses. Greetings, all. My name is Daniel Ogunyemi. I am first and foremost a child of the Most High. And second, I am married to Kai. We've been married since 2017. We're going to come up on 8, is that right? 8 years in a few months. And we have three lovely children, a 6-year-old boy and two girls, 3 and 1. I'm currently in Southeast Virginia, moved here just a little over a year ago, and I'm a higher education professional, currently working at William and Mary in the what we've historically called diversity space. And I also am the founder of a company called 2KD Consulting, and focus on things like executive and professional coaching, young professional development, some strategic planning, and some inclusion work within organizations. I honestly just enjoy life. I don't really know. I don't have too much more to contribute. It's interesting hearing my brothers say a decade or 15 years ago. They're so old, but I'm still a spring chicken, as they call it. I'm also hopefully, Chip, by the next time we talk, I'll be the the newest doctor in the family, as I'm currently finishing up a PhD in business psychology from the Chicago School. As soon as we get done here, I'm going to convert my Zoom into my dissertation and continue writing. So, yeah, that's about what I got.
Chip, it's always interesting, and I don't want to say weird to hear my little brothers talk about what they've done in life, because looking at it from the lens of being the oldest boy, it makes my allergies act up, as my dad says. I think it goes with getting older too, because every little thing I'm like, oh man, my allergies got my eyes itching, and what's this? Get back in there. It's tears falling, but it just brings me, a lot of joy to see that they're thriving. It's also odd when I see that they're parents, because these are the little guys that, were always riding around with me, we're running around, they're fighting, and now to see them grown and parents and thriving and putting all these letters behind their names and names on billboards, it's just, honestly, I'm taken aback every time, and like I said, I think in my older age, I'm getting sensitive, getting soft, and just every little thing they do just makes me extremely proud. So just wanted to say that.
That's awesome.
Here, I'm about to jerk a tear real quick. You know the most important letters behind my name, Clement? SR, because I have a son. I'm a dad.
I was just actually thinking the other day how, because I scheduled to go to the barbershop, and I was just thinking, we really didn't used to go to the barbershop. I used to, even in college, my oldest brother used to cut my hair, and I used to have to beg him to cut my hair sitting in a white chair with in a dimly lit room. It was interesting. And now I get to go get my own haircut. So yeah, it's funny because I was literally just thinking about that the other day of back in the day. It seems like it was so long ago, and now to see all of us just talking and living in different spaces, and I mean, I've always looked up to these guys anyway, so it's just really interesting to see where we are and the places we still have to go. No Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, I do count it as a blessing, and I think we all could reminisce all day. But I imagine that we have some things that we want to dive into there, Brother Chip. So you could dive right in, Brother Chip, before somebody else reminisces on what the things they were thinking about the other day while they were in the toilet room.
Too bad to sit in your podcast. So there.
Hey, so let me since y'all shooting, I'm gonna shoot one too, okay? No, no, I told Major this before we got on. I was thinking to myself, out of the brothers, him being in the military with the structure and all of that stuff. I was saying, man, I'm willing to bet that he's gonna be the first one on the call, right? And I logged in, I got on, and he was there. He was already there. He's like, yeah, I've been on since 45, right? Set up on me 45, right? And then we got close, man. He looking at the time, man. Let me message them, man. He getting them going. But in all seriousness, man, I love that. I love all of the successes, all of the things that you guys hit on. It's amazing, and really, That's why, I wanted to have you guys on just to highlight, because like those things don't just happen, y'all. Right? Like those things don't just happen. It takes work. And I want to send, a shout out to your parents, for the amazing job that they've done. And I know the first time we did this, my big deal was just showing love to them, so that you guys can show appreciation to them. But then I also would want, maybe one of you guys to, send a shout out to them, but then also to your other siblings too, right? Because it takes a team, it takes a family to be a successful family, and I think you guys have done great highlighting the wives. but but let's send a shout out, to your parents and your other siblings as well. If and one of y'all could do that if you don't mind.
Dan,
Yeah,
you go, man.
I'll jump on that one so we can be succinct. I'm just joking. Really, because I was called, at least in my mind, I don't know if it really happened this way, but I was called the worst out of all six children put together. If that wasn't actually said to me, that's how I recollect it. And so I really appreciate the patience, specifically that my parents put in, because my mom and my dad put in an ungodly amount of hours to get us, and not just me, but get us to where we are today. We are a statistical anomaly. I'm not the one who's getting a doctoral degree, clearly, but we are not what you would expect to see coming out of Ruston, Louisiana, where you have four African American males who are doing well for themselves. So I have to give a shout out to my parents, my mom, who spent a lot of time trying to help me talk, although I'm not enunciating my words here clearly, and my father, who spent plenty of time investing in us, and then to my older sisters. My oldest sister, she almost acts like mom too for all of us. I could speak on behalf of all of us to say that. And then my older sister, she used to always keep us in line. She used to specifically beat me up when I needed it. One of the one of the biggest lessons that she taught me, and she didn't even know this, and I'll give her credit for this, is she asked me, "What are you crying for?" And she said it in such a dramatic tone, but it actually resonated with me. And I look back at that moment like, okay, what am I crying for? Something had happened that I shouldn't allow to bother me. And she's telling me, like, what are you crying for? She had been patient and tried to help me out. And they all, like my parents and my two older siblings, would always try to come to my defense. And then eventually they all were like, no, what are you crying for? You have to be more resilient than that. So all four of them really are a huge part of our lives. And I have to give them credit, specifically for me being a major in the United States Marine Corps and everything else that I've been blessed to have the opportunity to do. I have to credit them with all the successes in my life.
So good.
I have
So
to say that
good.
my mother is the one that prepared you for the Marine Corps the most, and I'll let you tell those stories at a later date. But I think she got you pretty much ready for that.
I concur.
I know the life. Let me tell you. I think it's a direct correlation to that life that you're saying,
Yep.
as well as success. Right. In all
Yep.
seriousness, though, I think it's a direct correlation to instilling discipline, instilling structure. You at the time you're thinking, man, like this lady say she loved me, but it don't really seem that way.
Right.
But as you get older and you mature, oh no, it's super love. Man, it's it's super love and discipline, and I'm so grateful to have had that. And the evidence is you guys with your success. And so that's what we'll kind of jump into, seeing that, you guys are highly successful in your life. What's one lesson that you've learned in your life, and how have you applied that to allow you to be successful in your lanes and what you're doing in your life now? We'll go in order, oldest to youngest, like we did when we started.
Okay. It's funny you asked the question about our parents and our other siblings. I think one of the biggest lessons that I've learned through all this, because again, there were six of us, or there are six of us. And one thing that my mother always told us is that at the end of the day, we've got each other. Because when we would get into it, we fight and argue. And it would just make my mom really upset and say, at the end of the day, when your parents are gone, when all your friends are gone, this is your core group. And I think, no, not I think, I know that this is how I've been able to get where I am today, because these gentlemen on here, my sisters, my parents, my cousins that I'm really close to, they'll tell you, like, before I make any major decision in life, before I proposed to Maria Jose, before I wrote my first book, this is my group. These are the people, this is my village, as we say, that's going to tell me, because I know that they're going to be blunt. They're not going to always be like, "Oh yes, this is great." I'm like, "No, tell me. My skin is thick. I've pledged a fraternity and I've written a dissertation. There's not much more that's going to get under my skin. Words aren't going to bother me." And so they'll tell you that, anytime I'm writing a book, I'm about to travel to speak, these are the people I'm calling before anything. When I'm about to close a business deal, these are the people that are reviewing it and telling me, "Hey, this makes sense," or "Hey, I don't understand it," or "Hey, I don't like it. Something doesn't feel right." And because there's so many of us, we have the benefit of, hey, we can even put it to a vote if we need to, and we'll get to some type of conclusion. And I tell them, every day, I don't know where I'd be without my core group of people. I definitely wouldn't be where I am today, because there were times I wanted to give up, and they kept me going. My dad, my mom, my brothers, my sisters, and now my kids, and nieces and nephews are all there just pushing in that corner. And again, we laugh about it because there are a lot of us. We are a very large family, 6 kids and 19 grandkids. And we're continue. Well, I'm not going to continue to grow because I'm done with having kids, but these others might still be growing their families. And just building that village that we have to lean on, and that real support system that's really, for me, helping to carry me through my life and through my career and through literally every aspect of anything that I've had going on.
Good, Doc. I love that, man. Josh, what you got, brother?
And that's awesome. Thinking about the family component. I think for me, I'll touch on the faith, which I think is really a great segue, because our foundation of faith came from, having 2 parents that were very active in serving in our church and things like that. So we were able to, when they talk about people growing up in the church, like, that was literally us. Like, I was thinking the other day, y'all remember falling asleep in church? They don't even have church long enough to fall asleep in anymore. Like, that's crazy. Look, I'll be ready to doze off now, and they be doing the benediction. Like, we had a couple
allowed
hours
to fall asleep in church? What you talking about? He's gonna watch this, by the way. So I never fell asleep in church.
Yeah, man. I'm talking about literally growing up in church, man. And of course, not understanding fasting and praying and all those things at that time. But I personally, and I think I can speak for these guys too, that, like, if it weren't for that foundation of faith, like the trials, the scenarios that we've come up against, and not always the negative, but even being able to succeed and excel is rooted in Christian faith. Our demeanor, the way we interact with our community, things like that. That's what we were taught, based on, like, this is the way Jesus walked, this is the way Jesus talked. And so for us to aspire to do the same thing. So I would say not any one particular chapter or verse in this case, but I would say just a really strong foundation of faith, knowing, understanding who God is. And I tell you too, man, like, having a present father is probably the closest thing that you can have, as a depiction of who God is to, in your life. And so for me, and for these guys, for our family, like, it makes such a huge difference to understand, what a good father is, to what a present father is. Like, whenever I need him, I can go to him. Even when I was speaking in that very still, small voice, it's just all those connections, from a faith perspective, that as a foundation, it's allowed us to endure, so many different things, but also stand on that faith, for the successes that we've had, for the blessings that we've been able to experience. Our faith has been a super strong component of that.
And that's good. So family and faith. All right,
Man,
let's
that's
go.
I'm sorry, Chip.
No,
That is
jump in there.
powerful. That is powerful because you talked about family, faith, and I'm going to take the leadership perspective because that's just one big lesson I learned. Number one, getting to know yourself and know what your vulnerabilities are, knowing your insecurities, because you cannot lead others unless you know those things about yourself. And then secondly, getting to know the people who you're leading. And in this case, we're talking about family and faith. It's about establishing that connection with them so that you can lead them effectively. And then lastly, it's bringing and creating an environment in which those people can thrive. So I think that's what family and faith is all about. It's all about establishing that connection, and then when you have that connection with those people, creating an environment where you provide the resources for them so they can thrive and they can grow and develop into what you and what God has called them to be, and they can achieve their purpose no matter what the organization is or the team that you have or whatever family you have. Creating that environment is extremely important, but it all begins with getting to know yourself and always seeking improvement.
I love that. All right, Dan, what you got?
Yeah, my godmother used to always quote the scripture, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding, and all your ways acknowledge him and he'll direct your path. My godfather used to always say, your name will travel further there than you will ever go. And then another person that we used to fellowship with when I was in Missouri, Bishop Jack C. Vaughn, used to say, people don't have to be nice to you. And those three things really resonate with me every day because I mean, I get Ogunyemi. I think we probably talked about this the first time. The first time it's obviously not a common last name, and so when you see Ogunyemi, is more than likely one of these people on the call, or some of the others that we've already mentioned, and so it's really important to know, like when you walk into a room, who you're representing, and that's one thing that we were taught growing up. You know, I carried the last name of my father, and my mother had that name, and my siblings, and it was, don't embarrass this legacy, don't taint this name, because you know, when you think about my father's story, when you think about what my mother's gone through, and how they built the lives and raised children, or reared, as my mother would correct, children that are successful, it's important to keep that into perspective. And even having kids now, it's, you know, I joke and call my kids privileged because sometimes they act like they, you know, well, I'll take them to an NBA game and my son is like, are we coming to the next one? It's like, are you
Bruh.
insane? No, we're not. Probably next year. But it it's be it's being able to see the sacrifices, or start to realize the sacrifices that were made for us, and now it's making them not only for the people that live in my house, but anyone that I come in contact with. I'm always trying to keep God first, keep our name safe, and guard it above all I can, and then just going on and creating an opportunity. So when my name or our name is spoken in other rooms, it's not spoken in a room in a negative light. It's not spoken on many of the like many of the things that we see on TV, and some of the disappointments. I don't mean to call the people disappointments, but some of the acts that they do disappointments. Some people that look like us. Um, our name isn't in those types of conversations. And so for me, the success, no matter what I do, is trying to keep those things as sacred as possible.
So good. So good. Well, what I'd like to do is just kind of go around and, kind of as we close, I'd love for each of you to get an opportunity because, you talked about when we started the things that you're involved in, what you're doing. I'd love for the audience to be able to go follow you, check you out, show you some love with all of the great things you guys have going on. Like this is intentional for me, right? Like I think a lot of you guys, I think you're doing amazing things, and I think first off, you need to be highlighted for that because you're doing great things. But then secondly, I think people need to, like, if you have services, like these are good dudes that you can work with as you see, and so just give you opportunity to share what you guys are involved in, and I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna look out for you, Dan. I'm gonna throw it to you first. How about that?
I appreciate it, Chip. I was gonna hop in there anyway. Uh, Chip, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your platform and all that you're doing to just highlight successful people, man. And I've been wanting to say this for a while, so go get it.
Man,
Anyway,
let's go.
um,
Let's go.
as I said, I'm a higher education professional, so that's as they call it, my 9 to 5, and I really appreciate what higher education has to offer, despite um, a lot of the rhetoric that's out there. Higher education is still a good calling card for a lot of people, and it can unlock opportunities, not necessarily just externally, but one of the things I've really enjoyed from my own educational journey is all the things that I've learned about myself. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I mean that in it's I've been able to shine a light on many areas of growth, and so I've had an opportunity to reflect internally, practice introspection, really try to take hold of my thoughts, my attitudes, and my emotions. Sorry if I get too psychological on you. That's my background. And so I think higher education is where it's at, and I'm really appreciative to be there. Outside of that, I've started to build a platform called 2KD, as I mentioned, and you can go to our website, it's 2kd.org, and just see what all we have to offer there. I'm a certified Clifton strengths coach. I take a strengths-based positive psychology lens when I work with people and organizations, because I believe it's better to focus on what's right with you and what you do well and unlocking that potential, as opposed to always looking at what is wrong with you. And then lastly, as I mentioned, I'm finishing up a dissertation. So my prayer and my hope and my plan is that by the next time we talk, and hopefully way before then, I'll be have defended my dissertation, and we'll be moving on from there. So that's where you can find me. You can I'm online. I don't really post as much as I used to. My LinkedIn is my most exciting social media. That means you're getting old, I guess. My LinkedIn, and then I
Business.
scroll TikTok. So that's about it.
That means that you're about business. BIDNES.
Yeah.
Business. All right, Major, what you got?
Yes, sir. So, as I alluded to before, I am the founder of parent-child-connect.com. That's intentional. I put the dashes there, number one, because the other domain was taken. Number two is because I want to highlight that the connection is important between the parent and the child. At least that's my excuse that I'm going to use today. So I originally started Parent Child Connect in order to provide resources to parents, teachers, mentors, and caregivers to help them establish a connection with their children and guide them. Since then, I've expanded it to provide mentorship and guidance to early and emerging leaders. And that is where my newest project comes into play. It's a book called Lead Last, and it has 21 counterintuitive principles for becoming an effective leader. And the purpose of this book is literally just to help out early and emerging leaders, as I refer to, mid-career professionals who want to hone in on their leadership skills and truly become impactful leaders. Again, the title of the book is Lead Last, and the idea behind that is twofold. Number one, we want to be able to make sure that we know, as we already discussed, that you have things that you need to do before you're able to lead a group of people. You need to get to know yourself, you need to get to know them, and you need to create an environment for them. So that's the first part of Lead Last. And then the second part is we want to have a leadership that lasts beyond our tenure with the company, the organization, or what have you. So we want to have a leadership that leaves a legacy. So that really is where you're seeing Parent-Child Connect sort of branch out a little bit further in providing a leadership guide and leadership materials, as you've seen in other articles and things of that nature. If you want anybody who's going to come and help speak along with my other very talented brothers, I'll come out and help you speak. I'll do conferences. I'll put together any of those things from these 21 principles. That's really what it's all about. It's about being able to pour into our early leaders, whether it be in high school, college, or otherwise, and pour into them so they can become the effective leaders that we need in today's world.
So good, Major. Josh.
Hey, did you practice that, man? That's pretty good.
I'm always practicing, Josh. You know this. Come on, man.
And he has teleprompts.
I think so, man.
Dan too. I wasn't gonna say
Hey,
nothing, but both
well,
of
yeah,
them.
I just turned off my brain and turned on the NPC mode of myself.
Let's
Now I'm back.
go.
I couldn't even pronounce anomaly earlier, so I didn't. I can't even talk right now.
That's crazy. So yeah, excited to connect with each and every last one of you. One of the best ways to reach me or to contact me, see what I'm all about, see what I'm doing, is through my website. It's joshuaogunyemi.com. That's not easy to spell. It's JOSHUAOGUNYEMI.com. And that's just my personal branding page. It lets you know what I do for a living, how I can assist, and how I can support, brands and businesses that are looking for creative direction, that are looking for branding and content strategy. That's my wheelhouse. I enjoy doing, I love doing. So if you have a heart for people, if your brand is driven by impact and is mission minded, those are the types of brands that I like to work with. Really just to help to articulate your branding and help you to package up your services. So the number one, that you're able to show up with confidence in any room and in the marketplace, but also that you can remain competitive with, those larger brands and those larger names and faces that people know. So that's on a personal level. JoshuaOgunyemi.com. You can also find me on Instagram, josh.ogunyemi. And then outside of that, I mentioned Excel U Network. It's again a passion project of mine. If you're interested in growing in the areas of your faith, your family, your finances, and friends, we number one want to encourage people to join as what we call we're building a community, and we want to encourage people to join. It's called the Righteous Authority. That's based on the proverb that when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. So we're recruiting a community of righteous authority who are ready to step into their God-given ability and their God-given talents and to develop as leaders. And the second part of that is we're looking to work with Christian leaders who have a message to share. So those who are accomplished and educated and looking for ways to leverage their experience, expertise, and education. We want to show you how to do that and provide the platform for you to do that on. So it's a two-part leadership development, particularly for Christian leaders, because there's a real demand, a real need for good, authentic, and faith-based content like the platform that we're on here. We're looking to take that just to another stratosphere. So those are the three ways. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's Excel U Network, EXCELUNETWORK, Excel U Network. So I'm excited to connect with each and every last one of you. Listen, if you need a battery pack in your back, I got you. If you need to craft a message, you need to strengthen your branding, I got you. So that's where I come in at, and I'm really excited to work with folks who have really a heart for God and a heart for God's people.
Come on. All right, Doc.
As my good brother Daniel always says, you save the best for last. No, I'm kidding.
Every time he says that.
He does. But what we have going on right now, we didn't mention during this particular session is our foundation scholarship that we're giving every year. We give back to our community in Lincoln Parish, Louisiana. Eventually, we want to expand our expand our reach rather, because we are in so many different communities and there's so many lives that we're already touching personally. And so through our Ogunyemi Family Foundation, we give out 2 scholarships every year to individuals in Lincoln Parish. We've been able to grow that scholarship each year, I think by $500 per scholarship each year. This year, we're at $2,500 per scholarship. It's kind of crazy, and not to get too far off topic. I was looking back and kind of cleaning out an old dresser of mine or old whatever you call that thing, nightstand of mine. And I found, I think, one of the first checks that we wrote to start the foundation. We were given $500, one $500 scholarship, and now we're up to $5,000. So we've 10x that. Where we're able to give and impact these children, as well as giving them other resources to be able to be successful in college. Because as Dan stated, higher education is still a thing, and it's still necessary for a lot of people to be able to prepare their lives. So we try to eliminate or at least alleviate that burden, that financial burden of going to college. So that's been a real push of ours. We sent out probably 250, 300 letters to local businesses and just wanted to really push helping these youth out, because I told my friend, I said, people say that they're about the community and they're about helping. So I'm going to challenge them. I'm going to make sure that they are actually giving back to the community. Nobody has to know that they received a letter, because that's just not what I'm about. But, hey, if we're going to build a community, we're going to do it together.
And if you would like to make a tax-deductible donation to the Ogunyemi Family Foundation, please be sure to do so at the website, which is...
It's OgunyemiFoundation.com. See, Chip, what would I do without these guys? They know I'll bypass stuff. I'll get to talking and I'll forget. Thanks, Dan. So it's OgunyemiFoundation.com. OGUNYEMI Foundation. FOUNDATION.com. I used to be a spelling bee champ, by the way. OgunyemiFoundation.com, and we have a lot of resources. We like to highlight our scholarship recipients as well, and we also have an area for people to be able to give on that website as well. You made me lose my train of thought, Joshua, but thank you, Daniel. Also, if people would like to find me, I'm on Instagram. It's at Dr. Clement O. DrClemento is my Instagram handle. You can also find me and book me and find all my products and resources at ClementOgunyemi.com. Yes, I copied Joshua. So it's Clement, ClementOgunyemi.com, where you can find plenty of financial literacy resources. You can find ways to book me. It also has resources where we link to our other websites as well, for the foundation or for 4Q Financial, which also we provide financial literacy and financial planning for businesses and individuals. And I would be remiss if I didn't say I do have a new book that is coming out here. It's called The Broke College Kids Guide. I'm trying to back up so it's all on camera. The Broke College Kids Guide to Financial Success. It started out as a speaking series where, I didn't want kids to feel as though they're broke, but we've all been in college and we were broke in college. But we also made it to where it looks like a sticker. The word broke, you can see it is written on here. It looks like it is, you can peel it off. Because eventually we don't want you to be broke. We're going to give you the resources and the tools to be able to make sound financial decisions over time. So it was done intentionally. I don't know, when Joshua created that logo, I don't know if he did that intentionally, but that's what I got from it, is that eventually we want to pull that broke label off and be able to make those sound financial decisions and be able to move into a situation where you're breaking those generational curses and you're creating generational wealth as well. So that book will go on sale. We're taking pre-orders now. This is one of the first announcements that we are starting these pre-orders, and it will go on sale in June. It'll go on sale Juneteenth, actually, also done intentionally. And we want to get this into as many kids' hands as possible, as many parents' hands as possible, because what I did find out is that a lot of people, even in our circles, even in our communities, had no idea what a lot of these resources were. A lot of people couldn't tell you what a scholarship was, and a lot of my friends that I grew up with, and I told them, I'll never fail you like that again. I'll never fail anybody else like that again. If I have the resources, I'm going to make them available some way or another. So we want to make sure we're getting this in as many peoples in as many households, especially our youth, ages that they can start as early as their freshman year in high school, because I do have step-by-step guides for each year and a checklist showing, hey, this is what you should be doing your freshman year, sophomore, junior, senior, and then all the way up through you graduating from college. These are things that you should be doing in order to get more money for school and be able to graduate without having a mound of debt. But being, having a leg up once you graduate from college.
So good. Well, just want to say, guys, thank y'all so much for taking the time to hang out and be highlighted on the Success Chronicles. Man, in love what you guys do, rooting for you, wish you the best of luck, and man, just sending your blessings to you and your families for continued success.
Much love, Chip B.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, Chip.
Yeah. And thank you guys, and thank you, audience, for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.